Hey everyone, welcome back to Basic Soldering. This is Module 4. In Module 4, we're going to talk about finishing your work. So the first part of finishing is cleaning up all of the pieces that you've soldered. The thing that you need to know that's the most important is that you need to clean all your flux off of your pieces really well, because any leftover flux that is on your pieces will attract rust, and we don't want that. We want to make sure that our pieces are clean and ready to move on before we do any kind of sealing or patina. So the first thing I use is a baby wipe, and I just clean them as well as I can. And then I will go back with Dawn dishwashing liquid and warm water to make sure that all of the gunk is off of the piece. Once you're done with that, you can also go back with some Windex or any kind of glass cleaner to clean your glass again, but I think you'll find that you aren't going to need to. And then the last thing that we'll talk about is using steel wool, both on stubborn parts that don't want to come clean, as well as once you patina. All right, so let me show you how to clean your pieces. Okay, so we're going to clean your pieces, and like I said, I'm just going to use baby wipes, plain old regular baby wipes, the same ones that I've been using the whole time. And I'm going to take it. Notice that my jump ring's on, like this is a finished piece other than being cleaned. So I'm going to clean it up, get every portion of it, turn it around, like I'm purposefully scrubbing the sides and making sure that I get all of that flux off as best I can. Because like I said, leftover flux turns into rust, and we don't want that. Okay, and I think that's pretty good. And you can see it gets pretty dirty and gross. And then I come back with my favorite thing to use are t-shirt rags. Now you can either make your own, or you can buy bags of t-shirt rags at Home Depot or Lowe's or what have you. What I like about them is that they are soft and lint-free, and I can use them and then throw them in the wash. I usually wash them once a month or so, and then reuse them. Now, for me, just the baby wipe is fine. Like, I don't really feel like I need to clean this any further. Pretty sure I got most of my, most, if not all of my flux off of here. I don't really feel any. You'll feel it if it's still greasy. I'm also not going to worry too much about my glass right now, because I'm going to come back and patina this in a minute. So I'm going to grab a second one, and I'm going to do the same thing. Just scrub it with my baby wipe and get all the extra flux off. And by the time you're done, I'm not going to spend a lot of time cleaning it up, because by the time you're done and you dry it off, I'll hold it close to the camera for you to see. The solder, the silver solder, should already be pretty shiny at this point. If it was dull anywhere, then that was flux, but it's pretty shiny at this point, which is nice. Okay, so that's really literally all I do to clean: baby wipe, t-shirt rag, and if it's a piece that I used a lot of flux on, I'll come back with some Dawn dishwashing liquid and warm water. But it's not necessary if you're feeling confident that you got all of your flux off. Now, if you get to a spot where maybe there's some fire scale. So anytime there's, I'm looking for some, I'm not seeing it. Well, yeah, there's some, a little tiny bit. So anytime there's a little bit of black, see that black right there? That's fire scale. And what that means is that some flux just kind of burned there, and it's not coming off just with my baby wipe. So what I will do is I will come back in with some steel wool. And the steel wool that I use and that I recommend, this is what you want to look for. It's grade 40, or they call it quadruple aught. And that's really the grit of it, like a sandpaper, 150 grit, 300 grit, whatever. This is kind of the grit of the steel wool. I use this stuff sparingly because it likes to spread. It gets airborne, and then it'll get into your nose and your lungs, and that's not good. So what I tend to do is I take a piece out and I cut it down into a smaller piece, I could even go smaller than this, go in half like that. And then all I do is I come back in and I use my steel wool wherever that fire scale is. And it'll come right off most of the time. If it doesn't, chances are good that it's your black tape actually, and not just fire scale. Mine came off, and what I'm noticing now, you see, I'm trying to point it out. So this is where it was, where this little hole is. I know it looks a little dark to you still, but what I'm seeing is that's copper tape still showing. So I would normally go back and touch that up with my soldering iron to make sure that no copper tape is showing. But for the purpose of time, I'm not going to do that. The other reason that you might want to use your steel wool, if you feel around your edges, especially your corners, if they feel sharp at all, you can come back with steel wool, or I actually like to use nail files. And then going one direction, don't go like this, go one direction. You can sand your sharp corners or edges down nicely. And what I do is I just go to Sally Beauty Supply or on Amazon and buy a whole bunch of different grits of these. And then I have everything I need, and they last a good long time. So yeah, if your corners are sharp at all, like this little corner is kind of sharp, I'm just going to come at it like that. And it dulls it right down. And it's not going to do any harm to the piece. You're not even really going to see where you did it. There we go. These could use it too. Okay. So make sure to sand down any little extra edges. And then if I do that, I'm going to come back again with the baby wipe just to make sure that there's no residue from doing that. And there we go. So these pieces are technically done. I could sell it just the way it is, shiny. But what I want to do, I'm going to show you how to use patina to darken it, because patina actually helps cover up any little bumps and mistakes that you may have made or that you think you made. And I'll show you how to polish it up. With my other one, I'll show you how to just polish it up silver. So if you want to wear it or sell it, you know, just shiny solder. Boy, that's hard to say. Then I'll show you how to do that as well. But for now, just go ahead and clean all your pieces and make sure they're ready to go to the next step, because they need to not have any flux on them at all in order to patina and polish.